Good afternoon, students. My name is Himakshi and I'm going to take you through a journey where you will be able to learn the very basic concepts of economy and as well through the journey learn and target the next round of CUET-UG in the subject economics. Okay? So let me give you a very brief introduction about the syllabus of CUET-UG economics. The whole syllabus has been divided into two parts, where the part A consists of microeconomics and part B consists of macroeconomics. So today I'm going to start by giving an introduction of microeconomics. I hope this much is clear with you. Okay, so today's class will be starting with the very basic concepts of what is economics, what is economy, what we are going to study in economics, and so far and so forth. I hope you will really enjoy this class. Let's start. Okay? So, at first, let us understand what is an economy. Economy buli kole ki buji poa. Let us understand that. So, what is an economy? Economy is a system which provides people the means to work and earn a living. The means to work and earn a living. What is economy? It is a system where we are provided the means to work, the means to do work. And when we do work, we do not do it for free, right? We do it for earning our living, earning our livelihood. Therefore, it is the economy where we are being able to find the work and also earn our living. I hope the concept of economy is clear. Let us move to the next concept. In the next concept, we are going to learn about the vital processes of economy. Ami yate economy jun keita vital processes hoy hekitar bikhoye porim, but not in very we need not know in depth of these concepts, but let us know what are the three vital processes of the economy. The three vital processes of the economy consist of production, consumption, and investment and capital formation. Now, what does the economy processes consist of? Number one is production, where goods are produced. Goods are produced for what? Goods are produced for consumption by the consumers. So, production, where the goods are being produced. Second process is the consumption, where the people consumes the goods that are being produced. And number three is the investment and capital formation. এটা কি হয় এখন ইকনমিত আমি যিমানে বেছি ইনভেষ্টমেন্ট কৰো আমি সিমানে বেছি প্ৰফিট আৰ্ন কৰিবলৈ কাৰণে পাৰো তাৰমানে higher the investment, higher will be the income, higher will be the capital formation. এতিয়া সেই যিমানে আমাৰ বেছি ইনকাম হয়, again the production process will be higher, the production of goods and services will be higher. Production of goods and services higher means consumption higher, and as such the circle goes on and on. Therefore, economy আমাৰ তিনটা main processes আছে য'ত production হয়, where the raw materials are turned into the finished product, consumption where the finished products are directly delivered to the consumers, investment where we invest to earn profit, where we invest for capital formation and therefore grow the economy in future. I hope you are clear with these three topics. Okay, let's move to the next slide. In the next slide, we will understand why study economics. Right? মই এটা তোমালোকক কৈ দিছিলো যে কি মোৰ লগত আজি তোমালোকে বেসিক্স অফ ইকনমিক্স পঢ়িব পাৰিবা আৰু লগতে মই কি কৈছিলো in this process you will also be able to crack or target the next round of CUET UG, right? But let us understand এই যে আমি হোল প্ৰসেছটোত সোমাই পৰিছো, এই যে হোল প্ৰসেছটোত আমি ইকনমিক্স পঢ়িবলৈ আগুৱাই আহিছো, why we need to study economics? Why should we study economics? We should not study economics by default. we should study economics because there are certain underlying conditions where there are certain underlying reasons, right? So the main reason for studying economics is scarcity. কিহৰ কাৰণে আমি ইকনমিক্স পঢ়িব লাগে? কাৰণ in the economy there is scarcity. হয়নে? Scarcity আছে. What does scarcity mean? Scarcity means human wants are more than resources. Scarcity মানে কি? আমাৰ needs বা আমাৰ want বহুত বেছি, কিন্তু সেই wants খিনি ফুলফিল কৰিব কাৰণে আমাৰ লগত যিমান resources আছে সেই resources খিনি কি হয়? কম। তাৰমানে আমাৰ want ইমান ডাঙৰ, কিন্তু আমাৰ resources ইমান খিনি আছে to fulfill that want. বুঝি পাইছা? Therefore, it is of utmost importance যে আমি আমাৰ লগত যিমান কমকে resources available আছে সেই resource খিনি যাতে আমি rightfully allocate কৰো, so that আমি resource খিনি য'ত allocate কৰিছো তাৰ পৰা আমি maximum returns বা maximum needs বা maximum wants fulfill কৰিব পাৰিছো. Therefore, what economics is concerned with? Economics is concerned with selection of resources under the condition of scarcity. So, economics e ki help kore? Ami keneke resource select koribo lage. Ami keneke resource allocate koribo lage. In the condition where there is existence of scarcity, such that ami কম ৰিসোৰ্সৰ পৰা maximum benefit পাবলৈ কাৰণে সক্ষম হওঁ. I hope this much is clear with you. Why we need to study economics? Because there is persistence of the problem of scarcity in the economy. Clear? Okay. So in the next slide, we will learn more about scarcity. Iti ami already gom paisu scarcity mane ki hoy? Resources limited ase, human ones unlimited hoy. So it refers to limitation of supply in relation to demand for a commodity. Tamane ki, there is less supply of commodities. There is less supply of resources. Supply of resources ki hoy ate kom hoy buli koise. Supply of resources less hoy buli koise. And when there is less or limited supply of resources corresponding to higher demand or higher want, there is persistence of scarcity in the economy. Kyo? Karan amak bahut beshi bostu lage. Hoine? Kintu hekhini satisfy koribo karone resource kom ase. Gotike what will be there in the economy? There will be scarcity, right? So scarcity of resource calls for economizing of resource. Itia jihetu scarcity ase economy, ami he scarcity problem to keneke solve koribo parim? By a concept called economization of resources. What is economizing of resources? It refers to making of optimum use of available resources. Economizing of resources mane ki amar logot jikhini resource ase ami tare maximum use korim, ami tar optimum utilization korim, so that কম ৰিসোৰ্সৰ পৰা আমি maximum utilization কৰি maximum want বা maximum benefit পাবলৈ পাৰো. I hope this much is clear with you. Let's move to the next slide. Okay. But in economics, the scarcity is not the only problem. Ami ki pai asu je ami economics kihor kane poribo lage? Because resources are scarce, because there is existence of the problem of scarcity. But scarcity is not the only problem in economics. There are other problems too. What are they? Number one, resources have alternative uses. কি কৈছে? Resources have alternative uses. Meaning, এটা resourceৰ বহুত বেলেগ বেলেগ uses থাকিব পাৰে. হয়নে? Meaning, resources can be put to more than one use. হয়নে? Since one resource has many uses or one resource can be put to many use, আমি কি কৰিব লাগিব? আমি বিভিন্ন user মাজৰ পৰা কোনটো আটাইতকৈ ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট ইউজ বাছি উলাব লাগিব। মানে কি It is giving rise to the problem of choice. Karon eta resourceor bahutta uses ase, alternative uses ase, ami kuntu useot hey resource to put korim will make us will put us into a situation which will give rise to the problem of choice, because ami many option or pra ite ami jikono eta use select koribo lagibo. So scarcity give rise to the problem of choice. I hope this much is clear with you. Tamane ki koise resource is scarce, but it is not the only problem. Resources have alternative uses. Alternative uses mane it can be put to different uses. And since it can be put to different uses, it gives rises to the problem of choice. What is problem of choice? Problem of choice means choosing to which use we will make uses of the scarce resource that is available with us. Clear? Okay, let's move to the next slide. Let us understand what is economic problem. So economic problem buli kole ami ki buji pao? It is the problem of choice. It is the problem of choice. Why problem of choice arises? Because satisfaction of unlimited wants ase, hoine? Kintu resource ki ase? Limited ase, aru hei limited resource belakor ki ase? Alternative uses ase. Clear? So what is economic problem? Economic problem is nothing but problem of choice. Why does the problem of choice occurs? Because it involves satisfaction of unlimited wants of the human being. And these unlimited wants will have to be satisfied with the limited resources that is available, right? And that limited resources which are already scarce in nature also have other alternative uses. Let us understand from this diagram. It is economic problem mane ki hoy? It is nothing but problem of choice. Aru a problem of choice to kihor karne arise hoy? Because resource in economy are limited. Hoine? Resource in economy are limited, and hekhini resource or ako alternative uses ase, and therefore ami kuntu alternative resource uses thaka kane ami kuntu useot he resource to put korim hoine gives rises the problem of choice, hoine? Again, economic problem kihor kane rise hoy buli kole there are want, and a wants bela ki hoy? Unlimited wants. And because these wants are unlimited, we can only satisfy one want and not all the want that we want. I hope this is clear. Tamane amar want bahut kiba kibi hobo pare. Amar 4-5টা want hobo pare. Kintu tar pora ami okol eta want he eta homoyot satisfy koribo parim. Depending upon our urgency, depending upon our scale of urgency. Suppose our a need to age satisfy koribo lage, then we will have to satisfy this want first. After that, jodi ami A2 want satisfy koribo lage, then we'll have to start with next with this one. I hope this much is clear with you. So economic problem is nothing but it is the problem of choice involving satisfaction of unlimited human wants out of the limited resources having alternative uses. I hope this much is very much clear with you. And because there are alternative uses of the resources, we cannot make use of the resource. We cannot simultaneously fulfill all the human want. We'll have to fulfill human want on the basis of scale of urgency. I hope this much is clear with you. Let's move to the next slide. So in the next slide, we will learn the meaning of economics. So let us understand what is economics. Economics is the social science. What is economics? Economics is the social science which studies the way a society chooses to use its limited resource in which has alternative uses to produce goods and services, not only produce goods and services, but also distribute them among different groups of people. So economics is what? Economics is a branch of social science which deals with the way a society chooses to use its limited resources. It studies how এখন society নিজৰ যিমানখিনি limited resources available আছে সেই resource খিনি society কেনেকে use কৰে to produce goods and services. It not only studies how the limited resources are put to uses of production of goods and services, but it also looks how the produced goods and services are distributed within the economy. So it also studies the distribution of them among different groups of people. Clear? So this is why we need to study economics. This is why we are learning economics, because there is problem of choice, because there is scarcity in the economy, because there is alternative uses of the resource, and therefore economics study how the economy chooses the limited resources are put to use such that production processes are carried out the economy, and those production of goods and services are distributed well among the various groups of people in the society. Clear? Very nice. Now let us understand that the subject matter of economics is divided into two branches, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microত এমৰ পিছত লগালগে এটা কি আছে? I আছে, মন কৰিবা। Macroত এমৰ পিছত লগালগে এটা কি আছে? A আছে. The whole difference comes from these two letters in microeconomics and macroeconomics, other everything remaining constant. Clear? So what is microeconomics? The letter I in microeconomics stands for individual. That is, it studies the economic behavior of individuals. I am an individual, so microeconomics se ki padhe? Economic behavior of the individuals. Macroeconomics or ki ase? The second letter is A. A stands for aggregates. A stands for aggregates, that is, it studies the economy as whole. Tamane, microeconomics is a smaller concept where it studies the individual units of the economy. In macroeconomics, A stands for aggregates, where it studies the economy as a whole. Let me give you an example. For instance, microeconomics studies individual income. Microeconomics studies individual employment. But macroeconomics studies national income, right? Macroeconomics studies national output, national employment, right? Like microeconomics studies the concept of demand, supply. Macroeconomics studies the concept of aggregate demand, aggregate supply, right? এটা কি হয় আৰু এটা মই তোমালোকক যদি এটা ডিফাৰেন্স কওঁ, মাইক্ৰইকনমিক্সক প্ৰাইচ থিওৰি বুলি কোৱা হয় আৰু মেক্ৰইকনমিক্সক ইনকাম থিওৰি বুলি কোৱা হয়। কিহৰ কাৰণে? এতিয়া মাইক্ৰইকনমিক্সত আমি কি কৰোঁ? ইচ ইণ্ডিভিজুৱেল ইউনিটৰ বিষয়ে পঢ়োঁ, and therefore microeconomics also helps us to determine price of each units of the commodities produced in the economy, and therefore it is said to be as the price theory, right? But on the other hand, macroeconomic deals with the aggregates of the economy or economy as a whole. Therefore, economy as a whole, kiman income earn korise, সেই বস্তুটো পঢ়িবলৈ আমাক হেল্প কৰে। It helps to understand the aggregate income in the economy, and therefore it is also said to be as the income theory. I hope this much is clear with you. What is economics? What are the two subject matter of economics, microeconomics and macroeconomics? What is the main difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics? Right? Let's move to the next slide. Now, let us understand the central problems of the economy. right? It is central problems of the economy বুলি যদি কওঁ, where does it rises from? It again rises from the very starting point of scarcity. Why there is scarcity? Because there is unlimited want but limited resources to fulfill that unlimited wants, right? Again, as a result of which there is existence of scarcity in the economics. And also there is not only scarcity, but resources have alternative uses. Resources have alternative uses. And therefore, it means that the resources can be put to many other uses, which gives rises to problem of choice. So it gives rises to problem of choice. Problem of choice give rises to three main central problems of economy. What to produce? What will we produce? What will the producers produce? How to produce? যিটো produce কৰিম বুলি ভাবিছে সেই বস্তুটো কেনেকে produce কৰিব? আৰু যদি সেই বস্তুটো produce কৰি লৈছে, for whom to produce? So these are the central problems in an economy rising as a result of scarcity of resources. I hope this much is clear with you. Let us understand what is how to produce, what is what to produce, and what is for whom to produce, right? Okay. In what to produce, what is this problem? In what to produce problem, it involves selection of goods and services to be produced and what quantity to be produced. তাৰমানে what to produce ত দুটা বস্তু আছে. এটা বস্তু আছে what goods to be produced, what is the kind of good that we will be producing, and number two, of what quantity, কিমানটো quantity সেই good to produce কৰিম. Number one, which good? Number two, of what quantity will we produce of that selected commodity of goods, right? Now, there can be different types of good. There can be consumer good, there can be producer good, there can be war good, there will be different types of good. So, প্ৰথমত যোনটো question আছে, what possible commodities to produce? What are the possible commodities that we will have to produce? It also involves a problem of choice where we have to choose between consumer goods and capital goods. What are consumer goods? Consumer goods are like rice, wheat, clothes, which can satisfy our needs directly. What are capital goods? Capital goods are machineries, equipment, etc., which helps in production of consumer goods. So, আমি choose কৰিব লাগিব what goods we want to produce, whether we want to produce consumer goods or whether we want to produce capital goods. In the same way, we will also have to make a choice between civil goods. Civil goods are goods that are consumed by us directly, like bread, butter, etc., or war goods, the goods which are required during the times of war, like guns, tanks, bombs, nuclear machineries, etc. So we will have to make choice between consumer goods, capital goods, civil goods, and war goods. And after selecting what type of goods we will be producing, the next is how much to produce. How much of the selected quantity of good will be produced in the economy is the next question. So, the problem of what to produce involves not only what possible combination of the commodity that will have to be produced, but also what quantity of that commodity will have to be produced in the economy. I hope this much is clear with you. Let's understand the next problem of how to produce. Now, after we have selected which type of good to produce, we will then have to make a choice of what will be the technique of production that will be adapted in production of that good. Now, when I say technique of production, the word technique involves a meaning. What is it? So, by technique, we mean which particular combination of input to be used. Which particular combination of inputs to be used? Usually, there are two types of inputs, labor and capital. So which particular combination means whether we are going to use more labor, less capital. When we use more labor, less capital, it is labor intensive technique. When we use more capital, less labor, it is said to be as the capital intensive technique. So how to produce juntu problem hoy, it refers to selection of techniques to be used for production of goods and services. আমি goods and services কি technique use কৰি পেলাই produce কৰিম. And by technique, it means combination of inputs. By combination of input, it means there are two type of input, labor and capital, which will be used more in the production. If we use more labor, less capital, it will be labor intensive production process. And if we use more capital, less labor, it will be capital intensive production technique. I hope this much is clear, and this problem involves choice between which technique of production will be used. Clear? Okay. Now, once we determine what type of good to be produced using what techniques of production, the third problem revolves around for whom to produce. আমি কার কারণে বস্তুটো produce করিম. There can be different groups of people in the economy, and the whole groups of people can be divided into two categories, either rich or poor. Now, when we are producing a good, are we producing for the richer section of the society, or we are producing for the poorer section of the society? Buji paisa? That is the main problem which whom to produce deals with. With this, we come to an end of the central problems of the economy, which is very much easy. What to produce? Like what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. Clear? Let's move to the next concept, which is the concept of opportunity cost. Let us understand what is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the cost of next best alternative foregone. It is the next best alternative foregone. What to meaning bujibo try koriba. Next best alternative foregone. Foregone mane ami eri disu. It means, suppose I am working in a bank, clear, and I am getting a salary of rupees 40,000 per month. Suppose I am working in a bank and I'm getting a salary of 40,000 per month. But because I'm working in a bank, I am also foregoing, but I am also giving up two other choices that was available to me. What were that choices? Either to be an executive, jot per month moi 30,000 palu hoy, but to be a journalist, jot moi per month 35,000 palu hoy. But since bankot muk 40,000 per month di ase, hetu karone moi bankot job koribole choose korilu. But it ki koise, when I am choosing to work in a bank, I am also sacrificing to work, but I am also sacrificing the options available to me. There were two options available to me, but from that option, the best option that I am giving up, the best option that I am sacrificing is the opportunity cost. 40,000 or next best alternative to ki asil? To work as a journalist at rupees 35,000. So to work as bank employee at rupees 40,000 per month, my next best alternative foregone or opportunity cost is to work as a journalist at rupees 35,000 per month. I hope the concept of opportunity cost is clear with you. Let us take another example. Suppose এটা তিনটা এক্সাম্পল নাই, সাপোজ কি হৈছে, সাপোজ ওকে তিনটা এক্সাম্পল আছে, সাপোজ তুমি এতিয়া পঢ়িব পাৰা, তুমি এতিয়া মুভি চাব পাৰা, তুমি এতিয়া খেলিব যাব পাৰা. You can study, you can play, and also you can watch a movie. Now between three, you chose to go out and play. Now when you are going out to play, you are also sacrificing two options that were available with you. Between the two options that were available with you, which you sacrificed, which was the more attractive or more valuable option for you? the next best alternative that was available to you? Of course, watching a movie, not studying. So the opportunity cost of going out and playing is the opportunity cost of going out and playing is not watching the movie. I hope this much is clear. It is the next best alternative which you are giving up, which you are sacrificing. Because you are going out to play, you are sacrificing the option of watching movie at home. I hope this much is clear with you. Let's move to the next slide. In the next slide, we will understand the concept of production possibility frontier. So what is production possibility frontier? It is a graphical representation of possible combination of two goods that can be produced given the resources and technology. এইটো বস্তু মনত ৰাখিবা যে আমাক যদি resources and technology আমাক দিয়া আছে, given that resource and technology, আমি what are the various combination of two goods that we can produce, সেইটো যদি আমি graphically represent কৰো, it is nothing but the production possibility curve or production possibility frontier. Clear? Okay. Now let's understand the genesis or more in-depth understanding of production possibility curve. And this is production possibility curve. And this is production possibility schedule. Schedule মানে কি হয়? Nothing but tabular representation of the same thing. এটা কি হয়? আমি কি হয় আমাক যদি fixed amount of technology or resources দিয়া আছে, আমি maximum quality, maximum দুটা আৰু আমি maximum দুটা good produce কৰিছো in an economy, তেনেহলে আমি এনেকুৱা combinations কিছুমান পাম য'ত আমি fixed amount of goods produce কৰিব পাৰিম. যেনেকে for example, there are various possibilities A, B, C, D, E, F, G, হয়নে? And suppose we are producing two goods. On x-axis, আমি কি লৈছো? Butter লৈছো. On y-axis, আমি কি লৈছো? Guns লৈছো. It means আমাৰ লগত যেহেতু resources and technology fixed আছে, আমি যিমান মন যায় সিমান produce কৰিব নোৱাৰো. The end point of the production possibility curve, A and G, tamane AG shows the maximum production of butter and maximum process of gun, maximum quantity of gun that we can produce given the level of technology and resources to us. Yatke besi ami produce koriboloi nuarim. So point AG shows the maximum amount of goods and maximum amount of both the goods that we can produce using the given resources and technology. এটা যেহেতু আমাৰ resources and technology দিয়া আছে, তাৰমানে কি কৈছে ইয়াতে, আমি যদি এটা গুডৰ production বঢ়াবলৈ খুজো, আনটো গুডৰ production কমাই ল'ব লাগিব, কাৰণ আমিতো বেলেগ technology use কৰিব নোৱাৰো. So ইয়াতে চাবা, there are various combinations or possibilities. এটা ইয়াতে চোৱা, gunsৰ combination to কমাই আহিছে, কিহৰ কাৰণে we are trying to increase the units of butter. তাৰমানে আমি butter each unit বঢ়াই গৈ আছো, যাৰ কাৰণে আমি gunsৰ unit কমাই আহি আছো, because আমাৰ লগত কি resources fixed আছে. Butterৰ production বঢ়াবৰ কাৰণে আমি gunsৰ production কমাব লাগিব. কিন্তু এটা বস্তু মন কৰিবা, ইয়াতে আমি butter অকল one unit বঢ়াই গৈ আছো, কিন্তু sacrifice of guns is more. তাৰমানে কি কৈছো আমি, the amount we are sacrificing is more than what we are gaining. Right? The amount we are sacrificing is more than what we are gaining. Ekhini monot rakhiba, we will understand in depth about this concept in the next slides. Okay? So yate ami ki gom paiso, as and when we are increasing the production of butter, we have to reduce the production of gun. Okay? That is something related with marginal rate of transformation or MOC that we will learn in the later part of the slides. It is what? Firstly, jetia ami zero butter produce koriso, mane ami butter produce kora nai, ami 21 units of gun produce koriboloi parim. Next, jetia ami bhabiso ami butter production 1 unit di borhai disu, 1 unit of now butter is been produced, ami ki hobo production of guns komai disu to supposedly 20. Etu point oloi. Next, আমি আকৌ we are increasing the production of butter by another unit, and as a result, we are reducing the production of guns from 20 to 18. And as and when after that we are increasing the production of butter, we are reducing the production of guns, right? And these various points of production of guns and butter helps us to derive at at various points like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So these various combinations of butter and guns helps us to arrive at various combinations of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And A jun keta points ase, A points keta ami jodi join kori diu, we will get the production possibility frontier, which shows the various combination of duta goods. What were the two goods? Guns and butter that we can produce given the resources and technology. I hope this much is clear with you. Let's move to the next slide. Now, এইমাত্ৰ যে মই কৈছিলো marginal opportunity cost. Marginal opportunity cost কি হয়? Marginal opportunity cost refers to number of units of the commodity sacrificed to gain an additional unit of another commodity. মানে number of production of guns we are sacrificing to gain an additional unit of butter is MOC. So MOC মানে কি হয়? MOC is nothing but what we are sacrificing. What we are sacrificing to gain an additional unit of what we are sacrificing to gain an additional units of the other commodity, right? So MOC refers to the number of units of a commodity that we are sacrificing to gain an additional unit of another commodity. Etia koise, in case of PPF or in case of PPC, MOC or marginal opportunity cost always increases. Marginal opportunity cost always increases. Kihor karne yate koise, the reason is more and more units of the commodity have to be sacrificed to gain an additional unit of another commodity. Like I have already said, sacrifice আমি কি কৰিব লাগিব, বেছিকে কৰিব লাগিব, কিন্তু gain আমি কি কৰি আছো, অকল এটা unit of the commodity কৰি আছো. So what does this mean? We are sacrificing more. When we are sacrificing more, marginal opportunity cost is always increasing because more and more is being sacrificed to gain an additional unit of another commodity. Now let us understand why আমি বেছিকে sacrifice কৰি আছো অকল এটা unit of commodity আনটো commodity বঢ়াবৰ কাৰণে. Why? Because there are দুটা goods, right? There are দুটা goods, guns and butter. এতিয়া গান produce কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আমি যোনবোৰ factors of production employ কৰিম, those factors of production will be efficient in making guns only, right? Guns বনাবলৈ কাৰণে হিহঁতৰ একদম efficiency থাকিব. এতিয়া হিহঁতক যদি আমি guns বনোৱাৰ পৰা বাদ দি আমি butter বনোৱালৈ লৈ আহো, হিহঁতৰ efficiency in making butter will what? Be less. Therefore, আমি কি হয়, guns production কৰা মানুহ এটাক যদি butter produce কৰিবলৈ লৈ আহো, এটা মানুহে যদি gun produce কৰিব পাৰে, সেই এটা মানুহে কিন্তু এটা unit of butter produce কৰিবলৈ নোৱাৰিব. এটা unit of butter produce কৰিবলৈ maybe তিনটা মানুহ যোনে gun produce কৰে লাগিব. বুজি পাইছা? So 3 units of gun, মানে 1 unit of gun produce কৰিবলৈ যদি এটা মানুহ লাগে, তে সেই মানুহ হেনুকুৱা তিনিটা মানুহ লাগিব যোনে এটা unit of butter produce কৰিবলৈ পাৰিব. Which means their efficiency to make gun is more, but their efficiency to make butter is less. And therefore, more and more people making guns will be required to make an additional unit of butter. বুজি পাইছা? Because their efficiency in making butter is lesser. As a result, more and more is sacrificed to gain an additional unit of one commodity, and as a result, there is always increasing marginal opportunity cost that operates in the economy. I hope this much is clear with you. Let's move to the next slide. Let us understand what is marginal rate of transformation. Marginal rate of transformation is nothing but it is a ratio between how much we have sacrificed by how much we have gained. So it is change in units sacrifice by change in units gain. That is, আমি sacrifice কি কৰিছো? Gun কৰিছো. আমি gain কি কৰিছো? Butter কৰিছো. So MRT will be change in gun by change in butter. So change in butter অকল 1 হৈ আছে, কিন্তু change in gun মানে amount we are sacrificing is increasing. Let's move back to the previous slide. So change MRT ইয়াতে লিয়া আছে, change in gun by change in butter. এটা change in butter to সোয়া, butter is increasing only by 1 unit, but increase in sacrifice, that is the number of units sacrificed in case of production of gun is more. Prothomate 1 unit, then 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit, 6 unit. Like amount sacrifice is more for an additional unit of butter. Why? Because people who are producing guns are less efficient in producing butter. Therefore, more and more people will be required if we take away them from production of guns to production of butter. I hope this much is clear with you. Okay, very good. Now, let us understand the characteristics of PPF. PPF, I mean, firstly, the PPF or the PPC is downward sloping curve. It is a downward sloping curve. What does this downward sloping curve means? It means it shows all the maximum possible combination of two goods that can be produced using the resource and technology available to us. And it also means that if we want to increase production of one commodity, we'll have to decrease production of other commodity. Tamane ki there is an inverse thing going on. The more and more sacrifice, less and less gain, right? Less of the additional unit gain, and therefore PPF is a downward sloping curve. It means more of one commodity can be produced only by taking away resources from the production of another good. I hope this much is clear with you. The next point, that PPF is concave shaped is because of increasing MOC, increasing marginal opportunity cost. And I have already explained you in details why marginal opportunity cost always increases. It increases because more will have to be sacrificed for an additional gain of another commodity, because of lack of efficiency of the factors of production producing both the commodities. Clear? Now let us understand, আমি কি গম পালো যে PPF যোনডাল কার্ভ হয়, আমি কি গম পালো যে যোনডাল PPF or PPC কার্ভ হয় সেইডাল ডাউনওয়ার্ড স্লোপিং হয় আৰু ই কি হয় কনকেভ শেপৰ হয়। ডাউনওয়ার্ড স্লোপিং কিয় হয় আমি গম পালো, more and more sacrifice কৰিব লাগিব less of additional unit of commodity পাবৰ কাৰণে, আৰু কিহৰ কাৰণে concave shaped হয়, because of increasing MOC. Now let us understand can the PPF be a straight line? PPF straight line hobo pare niki? Noare. PPF cannot be a straight line, because if PPF is a straight line, it means MOC or marginal opportunity cost is constant. If MOC is constant or marginal opportunity cost is constant, it means আমি যিমান sacrifice কৰিছো হিমান gain কৰিছো, কিন্তু আমি যিমান sacrifice কৰিছো হিমান gain কিটাও কৰিব নোৱাৰো, কাৰণ productivity or efficiency of the factors of production producing both the commodity is different. গতিকে আমি guns produce কৰা মানুহ এটাক যেতিয়া butter produce কৰিবলৈ দিম, এজন মানুহে এটা butter কিটাও produce কৰিব নোৱাৰে, because he will be less efficient in production of butter. Even if he could produce, এজন person could produce one gun when he was employed in making of gun, he cannot produce one butter when he is been shifted from production of guns to butter. Therefore, কি কৈছে, PPF can be straight line only when marginal rate of transformation or MOC is constant, which means same amount of commodity is sacrificed to gain an additional unit of another commodity. When it is possible, it is only possible when we assume that all resources are equally efficient in production of all the goods. যদি আমি কি ভাবো যে সব ফেক্টৰস অফ প্ৰডাকশনে সব গুডস ইকুৱেলি এফিচিয়েন্টলি প্ৰডিউস কৰিব পাৰে এজন মানুহে ইকুৱেলি এফিচিয়েন্টলি গান প্ৰডিউস কৰিব পাৰে এজন মানুহে সেম ইকুৱেলি এফিচিয়েন্টলি তোমাৰ বাটাৰো প্ৰডিউস কৰিব পাৰে only then MRT constant hobo only then PPF can be straight line but not all individuals or not all factors of production are equally efficient in production of all types of resources and therefore PPF cannot be a straight line. Clear? Next, we can ask a question, can PPF be convex to the origin? We know PPF is concave to the origin. Now, whether it can be convex to the origin? No. PPF can never be convex to the origin. If PPF is convex to origin, it means MRT is decreasing. What does if MRT is decreasing means? It means less and less unit of a commodity are sacrificed to gain an additional unit of another commodity. MRT kita decreasing hobo jetia less sacrifice korise to gain more. Less to sacrifice koriboi nware because the resources are not equally efficient. The resources are hey resource to mane more than efficient to nohoy je ki ejon manue eta gun produce kori ase hejon manue butterot goi pelai duta units of butter produce koriba paribo impossible therefore marginal rate of transformation or MOC can never decrease right and since it can never decrease the PPF can never be convex to the origin PPF will be always downward sloping curve which is concave to the origin. I hope this much is clear with you. Now let us understand whether the economy will always operate on the PPF. Mane economy hodai PPF or uporote produce mane lie koribo niki. No hoy, tenekwa kono kotha nai. Ta mane ki hoy, ami jodi eneke PPF dal draw koro, there are 3 conditions where the economy can operate. Economy can operate inside the PPF. Economy can operate in points on the PPF and economy can also be at a point outside PPF. Now, a junketa point inside PPF or on the PPF ase like A, B, C, ekita kami ko attainable points. What are attainable point means? It means amar logot hekhini resources ase to produce those combination of goods. Kindu points like D, which is outside PPF, we do not have available resource to produce that combination of goods. And therefore, it is said to be as the unattainable position. So, ami ki kobo paru, economy will operate on PPF only when resources are fully and efficiently utilized. Tamane resource bur amar B aru C point ot kitia operate koribo, jeta resources available are fully and efficiently utilized. Ekhon economy kitia inside the PPF operate koribo jetia resources are not fully or efficiently utilized. Ami resources belak bhalke ba efficiently utilize kora nai hekarne it will operate below the PPF but it is a possible condition and therefore 1 and 2 can be also said to be as the attainable combination. Such points, this point and this point which is inside PPF and on the PPF is said to be as attainable combinations because it can be attained with the given level of technology and resources. But with the given level of technology and resources, this combination which is outside PPF is not possible because we do not have resources to produce that much of goods and services and therefore it is said to be as the unattainable combinations. I hope this much is clear with you, right? Let us move to the next topic where we will learn about the conditions where there will be change in PPF. Now, change in PPF can be of 2 types, where there can be shift in PPF or there can be rotation of PPF. Now, when does PPF changes? PPF changes when there is change in the productive capacity in the economy. আমি প্রথমতে assume কৰি লৈছো যে কি আমাৰ productive capacity মানে resources are technology given. হেখিনি given কাৰণে আমি এটা maximum level of goods combination আমি produce কৰিব পাৰো বুলি আমি PPF ৰ through represent কৰিছো. But when there is an increase or decrease in the productive capacity of the economy, there is a change in PPF. And that change can be captured through either shift in PPF or rotation of PPF. Now, what is shift in PPF? Shift in PPF means when there is increase or decrease in productive capacity for both the goods that we are taking on the x-axis and on the y-axis. Tamane jetia duta axis or goods or karone, there will be upgradation of resources, upgradation of technology or productive capacity as a whole, there will be shift in PPF, which means resources or technology with respect to both the goods. Resources and technology increases or decreases with respect to both the good. It has only increase hoy, it will lead to rightward shift of the PPF, and if it there is a decrease in productive capacity, there will be leftward shift of the PPF. On the other hand, when there is rotation of PPF, when there is productive change in productive capacity, which means there is increase or decrease in productive capacity with respect to only one good, either with respect to the good that we are taking on the x-axis or with respect to the good that we are taking in the y-axis. Let us understand this in details. Let us look into the shift in PPF. So, it is suppose the economy is operating at the PPF PP. Suppose ami PP tasu. Hobo. Now let us consider that productive capacity of the economy has increased. Productive capacity has increased mane ki technology improve hoise, resources available improve hoise. As a result, the production possibility frontier or PPC will shift towards the right. It will shift towards the right to P1, P1. এতিয়া এইটো কিহৰ কাৰণে শিফট বুলি কৈছে এই যোনটো ইনক্ৰিজ ইন টেকনলজি বা প্ৰডাক্টিভ কেপাচিটি হৈছে ইট ইজ ফৰ বোথ দ্য গুড ইট ইজ ফৰ দ্য গুড গান এণ্ড ইট ইজ অলছ' ফৰ দ্য গুড বাটাৰ এণ্ড দেয়াৰ ফৰ গানৰো প্ৰডাক্টিভ কেপাচিটি বাঢ়িছে আৰু বাটাৰৰো প্ৰডাক্টিভ কেপাচিটি বাঢ়িছে এজ এ ৰিজাল্ট দ্য PPF has shifted from PP position to right towards the right to P1, P1. On the other hand, when there is decrease in productive capacity or decrease in degradation of technology, decrease in the level of resources available for both the goods that we are taking on both x-axis and y-axis, it will lead to the leftward shift of the PPF towards P1, P1. Amar jodi economy khon PP operate kori ase, now there will be degradation of the economy. There will be degradation of the productive capacity, resources komi ahise, technology degrade hoi goise. For both the goods, therefore production of butter decrease hobo, production of guns decrease hobo. The new PPF will be therefore P1, P1, which has shifted from the original position PP towards the left to P1, P1. I hope this much is clear with you. On the other hand, when will the rotation of PPF take place? PPF will rotate accordingly if there is only increase or decrease in productive capacity with respect to one good. The good either we are taking on the x-axis or the good we are taking on the y-axis. Let us understand first rotation for commodity on x-axis. Etia rotation hoise because there is increase or decrease in productive capacity with respect to good that we are taking on the x-axis. Suppose let us suppose that the PPC the economy is operating in is AB. Now let us suppose that for the good that we are taking on the x-axis, that is butter, tar kane productive capacity badhi goise. There is increase in resources, there is improvement in technology. As a result, the PPF will rotate along the x-axis from AB towards the right to AC. Tamane et kono improvement nai. Karon ganjot kono technology improvement hua nai. Improvement code hoise kihor production hoise, it is for the production of butter. Therefore, only production of butter will increase from B to C. As a result, there is a rotation of the PPF along the x-axis from AB to AC. Similarly, যেতিয়া productive capacity of production of butter কমি আহিছে, technological degradation হৈছে, suppose there is reduction in the resources available, তেতিয়া কি হ'ব, the PPF will not change along y-axis because there is no change in productive capacity for the good we are taking in the y-axis. Therefore, the PPF will shift towards the left, and not shift, will rotate towards the left along the x-axis from AB to AD. I hope this much is clear. যেতিয়া productive capacity increase hobo, there will be rightward rotation. When productive capacity increase hobo, when productive capacity decrease hobo, there will be leftward rotation of the PPF. I hope this much is clear. On the other hand, let us consider ebar productive capacity increase hobo for the good that we are taking on the y-axis, that is guns. Now, let us consider je ki guns or productive capacity increase hoise aru butter or productive capacity same ase. Therefore, there will be no change along the x-axis, right? It is suppose productive capacity of butter has increased, like technology has increased, resources has increased. It will lead to rotation of PPF along the y-axis from towards the right hobo because increase hoise towards the right from BA to BC. Originally code asil BA, now it will move towards the right from BA to BC. This rightward rotation is because of increase or decrease in technology in production of guns, right? Now let us consider that for productive capacity of guns, the resources available has decreased or the technology has degraded. As a result, there will be leftward rotation of the PPF along the y-axis from BA to BD, right? And there will be no movement along the x-axis because production of butter remains the same as productive capacity for it has not changed. I hope this much is clear with you, right? With this, we come to an end of today's class. Thank you so much. I hope you are being able to understand the basic concepts of economics, where we start from, why do we study economics, or rather we study from what is economy, why do we need to study economics, what economics deals with, what are the branches of economics, right? Then we also study about opportunity cost, then we study about a concept called PPF, right? Then we study about the characteristics of PPF, change in PPF and rotation of PPF. And all, I hope that you learned or enjoyed, right? You loved learning with me. Number one, I hope you enjoyed learning with me. And if you just love learning with me, I hope you will join with me along this journey. And I'll be very grateful to all of you for doing that. Thank you so much for today's class. See you in the next one.